Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present two different kind of things. First, I will talk to you about nature management at the Archipelago National Park. So this is one case from Finland about nature management, together with actually quite a lot of people from different organizations. And then I will shortly present you some volunteering examples from Finland and from Parks and Wildlife Finland. But first we will go to Archipelago and to the nearest national park from Turku. First, a little bit facts about the park. Act on the Archipelago National Park was given on 1983, and there the act says that we have in the park 4 main tasks, and they are to preserve nature and culture, to preserve the traditional ways of utilizing the nature, to preserve the living archipelago community, and to do some research on the whole area. And the park is managed by Parks and Wildlife Finland, like the national parks in Finland are all managed by us. And the park itself, it consists of 2 parts. It has the so-called cooperation area and the actual national park area, which consists of the state-owned parts of the archipelago. I will show you a map later. So at the archipelago sea, small old villages at the cooperation area exist side by side with wilderness and with semi-natural areas. And due to archipelago's complicated character, the Archipelago Sea Biosphere area was founded at 1994, so 10 years later than the park. So with the complicated nature, I mean that it's really large area. It has thousands of islands. It has cultural nature, and of course the wild areas also. It has small-scale habitat variation, and new environmental threats are arising. For example, the nitrogens in the sea and the eutrophication in general. The Biosphere Reserve is managed by the town of Parainen and Kemiönsaari municipality and the ELY Center. So here we are on the map. So in the red circle you can see Turku. And so from the map you can see actually 3 different areas. The green line presents the biosphere area. So it's the largest, and the national park is inside it. It's the blue line represents the cooperation area, and the red areas inside it are the actual national park, so the state-owned areas inside the cooperation area. Main habitats of the park are small skerries, rocky skerries, and small islands with pine and a lot of bare rock surface. But when we go to the bigger islands, we can see this kind of landscape. We have really nutrient-rich herb-rich forests, old-growth forests, and the semi-natural character is seen everywhere, almost everywhere in the park. Then we have the seashore meadows, which are a really important habitat type there. Here the modern shepherd is trying to get the cows from the seashore meadow. They have escaped from their fences. And here you can see the character of the semi-natural areas. So we have really species-rich meadows. They have almost 40 plant species per square meter. And we have many threatened species, threatened in Finland. And then on the right side you can see that the taking the animals to the islands, it's not always so easy. So we have to bring them with boats and ferries and that kind of things. There are horses going to have a summer on one island. Then we have two specialities, Fennoscandian wooded meadows, which are traditionally managed by a combination of many things. These are nowadays managed by volunteer camps with grazing animals with our park employees. So they are quite complicated things to manage. There are 3 spots where we have these traditionally or almost traditionally managed these days. Then we have Eske Islands, which are sandy island formations. They are really uniquely formed sand islands, and their origin goes back to the last ice age when the ice sheet was retreating and it formed these end moraine and end sandy islands. And why nature management? The main threats to biodiversity in Archipelago Sea are the eutrophication of the sea and from the air also, together with the land abandonment. So the traditional culture is vanished from the archipelago, and that's and they have also mutual effects, the eutrophication and the land abandonment. Then we have alien species. The worst ones are American mink and Rosa rugosa. So the nature management is needed and at really large parts of the park. We have Eske habitats, shoreline habitats, meadows and pastures, and cultural landscapes. And of course the bird islands, which benefit the removal of the American mink. I will concentrate now to the nature management by pastoralism mainly. Nature management at the park started already at 79, so before the park was founded. But already at the beginning, the locals were with the management because of the big amount of the traditional rural biotopes in the park. So the management was done by park employees, NGOs, volunteers, and local farmers. And the local farmers were then at the beginning mainly responsible for their yearly grazing because there were no subsidies yet available. At 97, park started to run restoration and management projects. They had really many live projects, first one until 2000, and then there were several others coming later. Then they had the biosphere area run an entrepreneurship and landscape management project which ended up to a new level of cooperation because it trained entrepreneurs to do nature management. So at the end of 2010, Park had professional restoration entrepreneurship, subsidies for farmers and at main locations, strong volunteer work cooperation, strong know-how among park employees. So the management area has increased, almost doubled, and nowadays we also manage private conservation sites inside the cooperation area, so that's also why the management area is getting bigger all the time. Until 2015, the majority of the restoration and management work was done by park employees and entrepreneurs. But, and the local farmers were responsible for yearly grazing. But now the management work is slowly transferred more and more to farmers. At the picture we are on one island with horses. There are our park rangers and farmers together on the meadows to learn about the management methods. So the nature management work done by farmers is going to be doubled during these years, actually this year already. Then, plus the management work done by farmers, we have also volunteering in the national park, which is done by by Finnish, we have two partners. Main partner is the Finnish Association of Nature Conservation. We have yearly camps at the wooded meadows mainly. Then we have the WWF Finland, restoration camps, and of course the removal of the alien species. Here's some pictures from the camps. And the future, the ideal management system, of course, is a win-win-win-win-win system, which benefits the locals, the cultural environment, people, and biodiversity. And at Archipelago, the professional nature management inquires close cooperation with park employees, which have the knowledge about the nature management and how it benefits the plants and the other threatened species. It inquires sufficient subsidies and adequate amount of pastures per entrepreneur, per farmer, I mean. That benefits the locals. They have like a livable amount of pastures, so they can specialize in landscape and biodiversity management. And of course, it inquires the understanding of each other. So the learning process goes both ways. We have to know how the farm works when we decide how to do some management actions in the park. And when the cooperation deepens, the cost efficiency of the system gets high. And of course, new volunteering methods bring new possibilities to nature management, and we are testing those all the time. And here on the map, we see that here are the farms which are doing work in the park. So we have 9 farms, and 8 of them are in the biosphere area and 2 in the cooperation area. They serve the national park areas by bringing animals and doing management actions. The red spots on the map are the places where our park employees, the park rangers, go to the park and help the farmers and do the restoration work. So the park rangers do restoration work quite much. Here are some possible routes for our park rangers. And here the red spots show the volunteer camp sites. There are restoration camps and the yearly management camps. So now I will show you a little bit more about the volunteering. So this presentation was supposed to be Evelina Nygren, so who is the responsible for volunteering in our organization, but she's now not here, so I will do this really shortly, I hope. Parks and Wildlife Finland manages our most valuable areas, so we manage the nature conservation network all over the Finland. And here on the map you can see from different colors present different kind of conservation areas. So they are in the whole Finland, they cover whole Finland. But the nature management actions, they are mainly done on the southern parts of Finland, because we have here a lot of nature management dependent species and habitats. So nature management concentrates here, the southern part of Finland. We have about 3,350 volunteers per year and approximately 28 man-years. And for example, we have 80 work camps that lasted from a day to 10 days. Our events are usually designed to be a win-win system, so it means that nature and people both benefit from these actions. So we know that participation and capacity building are the best ways to increase the environmental awareness, and we now know also that being in nature or doing something in nature has really many health benefits. So the participants in the camps and other volunteering events are also unconsciously getting something out of them. Now some old and new ways of volunteering in our parks. Of course, the conservation days and camps are I think the oldest volunteering event which we have, but they are always popular. People like them. Of course, the places are always different, so you can always have a different experience when you go to a camp, and the emphasis in the camps is the management of traditional landscape and cultural heritage. Volunteers clear meadows, they rake meadows, they burn branches, etc. And they are very many times done in cooperation with NGOs. Here is actually the same place in spring and in summertime. So that's the wooded meadow habitat. And where do we arrange these camps? We arrange usually them at really exceptionally interesting location where people want to go, where they cannot go any other way. So those are the best places for camps. Our camps include informative and motivating walks and lectures and evenings and small trips to the nature. Camps are free for all. Of course, the traveling to campsite is at their own expense, but they're exciting new experiences. And some people come again and again to the same place, so they are really committing also. Another type of volunteering is adapting a monument or a protected site. So local organization or association manages the same site for a long time period. And it's a possibility to be a part of the nature conservation system and help in taking care of the heritage while spending time in the landscape. Shepherd Weeks. This is a quite new thing which has been a really really famous. So this is a nature conservation holiday where people come to take care of sheep herd when having a vacation. Then we have had BioBlitz events, which is a species inventory event, not more about that. And we can also think about new forms of nature management volunteering. I think there is a huge amount of possibilities. So here are some of them, but now I will stop this here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maija.
Thank you
for this excellent presentation. We have a little time for questions or comments for Maija. After the lunch, cheer up a little bit. Concha. Okay, yeah.
Thanks very much. It's been very, very interesting and lovely to look at. Have you do any actions with young people? I mean, just raising awareness among young people from the schools on about, putting them in contact with that sort of environment and matters?
Yes, we do. Actually, quite much. I'm not really the best person to tell you about those, but we do have. And I forgot to put it in the presentation, but we have also we have this kind of camps for schools which study forestry or agriculture or the nature management itself, and they come to do some work in the nature park sites. So we do have.
Thank you, and then Eija.
Yes, thank you. What we were talking during the lunch break about the voluntary camps all over Europe, and then we thought that it might be interesting to go to other countries to do some voluntary camping on summer holidays, for example. I think it would be a nice way to have a summer holiday. So I wonder if there are voluntary camps in Spain, for example. Do you have? Yes, that's good. I know that in Romania there is something. It would be interesting to go. But I wonder if anybody knows if there are any networks or lists in internet where we could see what is going on in other countries, like we know when the voluntary camps are in Finland, but what about in other countries? It would be nice to see some kind of list. Is there any, and if isn't, should we make one?
Yeah. Does somebody know about it? Perhaps not, but perhaps we can try to find it out. And if there is no such a list, perhaps it would be a good idea to have such a list. It would be actually very useful for many people, I think. Exotic traveling.
Yeah.
Concha.
I don't know about networking, but my regional government, who has been talking to, is interested in organizing this sort of camps or visit for students, for example, in that area. So if, you know, we can sort of have a talk and think about how we can start doing sort of interchanges or similar schemes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think there would be many volunteers, people coming from Finland to Spain to have some
Yes, I think that
nice
would
time.
be really
yes.
a succeed.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much, Maija.
Kiitos.